bet she's a model employee.
Ms. Caldwell is very anxious and nervous today. She's really concerned about how this is going to affect her job, and she understands that your court proceedings are broadcast to the public, and she is worried about repercussions.
Well, I don't think it's going to be anything too terrible, Ms. Caldwell, but you were out of control. This is the time and date for sentencing in this matter, which started as a resisting, obstructing, and an operating while intoxicated. Prosecutor reduced the R&O to a misdemeanor, attempted R&O, and the operating while intoxicated to impaired driving. I've known Ms. Caldwell for many years. I hadn't seen her for a while. She has a temper, and it got out of hand here. She had a different perception of things, certainly the police did. But she gave a lot of thought to whether she wanted to enter this plea or not, and then she did. I asked for some help, and Matt Huff from the probation department has prepared a pre-sentence report, because frankly, I didn't know what to do here. Matt has a pretty good recommendation. The report, the videos, they're unpleasant. So, Mr. Bush, what would you like me to know?
Mr. Huff put the time and labor into the report. That's obvious. Without repeating, I guess the one thing that I point out is the last involvement with the criminal justice system is March 16th of 2015. So she's done really well. The job that she has, she's very proud of that. From the first day I met her, she's talked about that, and I think she realizes that could be her career job, that she could run this the rest of the way and do
Which
it
is
well.
Part of why I think I haven't seen her in years. She's just been working a good job. But I think I'm proud of her too for that.
I'm glad to hear that she wants to do probation. I suggest to the court that probably anger management, she would do well with that. She can make some better decisions. You don't get a hall pass on your birthday, but this was a day that she was celebrating, and it would have worked out well if she would have had a designated driver that day. She may have had headache the next day, but we would have been fine. But it didn't turn out that way. I would ask the court to consider probation and hold her jail incarceration over her head to ensure that she follows through with the terms and conditions of the probation. Thank you.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are going to witness the tension unfold in a courtroom where Miss Caldwell faces serious charges. Anxiety hangs heavy as the judge lays out her plea and history, while the prosecutor highlights her past temper and recent good behavior. The pre-sentence report is introduced, setting the stage for the drama that's about to escalate. Every word counts as her future teeters on the edge.
Ms. Caldwell, what would you like me to know?
That I do regret that night, my actions totally, because that is not who I am today, and that's not who I was that day. I can't say that alcohol played a major role in it. I feel like I've grown a lot. Like you said, I've been holding my job down. I feel like God has something in store for me, and I don't want to go to jail, because not only because I don't want to go, but one of my stepchildren that I raised just texted me the other day, and she wants to come back and live with me for a change from Illinois.
That was a strange situation, because you and Mr. Caldwell were married. He left, and he left his kids with you, I think, for some of that time. Is that true?
Yes.
And those girls were not very old. How big were they at that time?
10 and 12.
And how long did you have them?
Well, I actually was a part of their lives from when they was 3 and 4.
But I mean, after you guys got divorced, how much longer did you have the girls after that?
They ended up going where their mom was released, and they went to stay with her for a while. But during that, she lost her sister, and I guess it's a lot of stuff that she don't want to be around. So she just texted me yesterday and asked if she could come back this way and stay with me, and if I could help her find a job. So she's taking the necessary steps to apply and put my name down as a reference.
Well, okay. Let's talk about a couple things. Mr. Bush indicated it was your birthday, but you were drunk and you don't get a free pass on your birthday. And you were mad that he was doing his job. He saw you at the main 4. He was parked in the car repair place, Lynn's Garage, and he followed you all the way down Michigan Avenue, down Millard, and down Constantine Street and Millard. That's a lot of blocks. It's, I don't know, 20 blocks? I'm not sure. Your driving wasn't good, and the police can see a drunk driver. You're going real slow. Your car had beer bottles in it. You were close. You could like see your house from there. And I know what you were doing. You wanted to just get your car and park it. But then it all went haywire. And as Matt says in the report, at the time of the actual driving, you were probably about 2 times the legal limit. And I don't think
Miss Caldwell steps up to speak, expressing genuine remorse and reflecting on her growth since the incident. She shares personal stakes, including her stepchildren and career, revealing a woman caught between past mistakes and present responsibilities. The courtroom listens as the judge recounts her impaired driving, showing how a seemingly minor celebration spiraled into a moment with real consequences.
And I don't think any of this would have happened if alcohol hadn't been in the equation. But police have a tough job. When I was prosecutor, people were more yes officer, no officer. They were respectful. People are much less respectful of police today than they were when I was the prosecutor.
Yo, and may I say something?
Yeah, but let me finish my thought.
Okay.
I've commented on this recently, that in the African American community in this day and age, they have a different view of police, and so do a lot of other people, because of things that have happened historically and more recently. I said there are millions and millions of police stops, but some of them, very small percentage of them, are bad. And so we're in that climate. But it doesn't give you a right to bite him.
I didn't.
Kick him. You can see her bite him on the video, correct?
No.
No, I didn't see any visual
Okay.
on the biting.
Okay.
There's obviously evidence on the kick in front.
All right. Well, then go ahead, Ethel.
Yeah, and I would first like to say I don't have a problem with enforcement at all. I do have a problem with the way I'm being treated. In 2003, when I had to turn myself in, I was on a probation. I think Alice was my probation officer. I was running late for court, and I called, and from this day, I now remember to ask for the clerk's name, but I didn't know her name. And she told me to call your probation officer and she'll tell you what to do further. Well, I contacted Alice. She told me to turn myself in. I turned myself in that night. And Sergeant Heath was not having a good day. I was assaulted for walking backwards, telling somebody else not to argue with him. And that was the first felony case for this assaulting an officer, because he threw me into the wall and then he choked me and I bit him. And so that's why I feel like, I felt as if Officer Britton had done some type of research or whatever, because he said, stop biting me or stop trying to bite me. And I knew that was a bunch of BS, because I learned from that day, and I didn't hesitate to walk out of there. He just wanted to raise my arms to hurt them further, because he had been doing it throughout that night. And that's what had me angry, that he was trying to hurt me for no reason. I've never had a resistance from an officer. I never responded in any type of way of me ever being arrested. So I didn't get that. Like, I didn't understand. And that's what made me angry, that he would treat me that way, knowing I was under the influence.
Well, as I indicated, people have a different view of it. Depends on one thing if you're the officer, and another thing you're the defendant. There's millions of videos out there of people. There's a lot of them of entitled white ladies that commonly referred to as Karens, who are very disrespectful to the police. And they've got a tough job. Now, also, you've been smoking marijuana.
Yes, sir.
It's legal to smoke marijuana. It's unclear, really unclear, what driving under marijuana status is right now, but combination of this wasn't good. You got this good job. We don't want you to lose your job. But you had those cases that you were on probation. One of them, you stabbed somebody with a pair of scissors or something. I think that was the one you were on probation for, because you tend to lose your temper.
Actually, I was, who was it? Her name was Tracy Washington at the time, before she got married.
The courtroom dives deeper into conflict, with discussions of police conduct and historical context. Ms. Caldwell recounts prior run-ins with law enforcement, explaining her reaction during the incident. The judge provides perspective on societal attitudes toward authority and stresses how these events intersect with her criminal record, highlighting the tension between her past actions and the person she is today.
Kim and I had a fight at the South Main gas station, and I want to say like a couple days later, like, she had put a restraining order on me, and I walked down to Melissa Taylor's house, which, when I lived on 6th Ave, and she lived on one end, I lived on the other, to get scissors. I was going to do my mother's hair with extensions. And Melissa, I didn't find this out till after the fact, she called them and told them that I was coming. So they came like they was going to try to jump me, like my back was against her door. And it was 3 of them, Tracy, Kim, and her sister Quana. And Quana tried to act like she gonna try to snatch me down from the door. So I just came down swinging.
Well, that was some ancient history. Then there was one with a knitting needle or something.
I don't know nothing about no knitting needle.
Maybe I got that one mixed up. I get a little foggy on stuff that happened 25 or 30 years ago. But the point that your lawyer made is you haven't been in any trouble in a number of years. And you got a job, and that's all a plus. All right. Matt, which case do you want me to do the probation in?
I didn't realize there were 2 separate files. I knew there was 2 charges.
Well, there's 2 charges. So
I mean,
I'm going to do it in the.
if we're doing an anger management, I would.
Yeah, I do
would
it
say
in that case.
Attempted RNO.
All right, on the operating while impaired charge, give you a 1-day jail credit, 1 day. 0 fine. You'll be the only person this year that got that. And I'm gonna do it concurrent with the attempted R&O. Mr. Huff, is anything else you wish to add?
I mean, I would just emphasize that your criminal history obviously dated. So there's some hope, I think, here for a positive probation completion, despite the fact that we don't see that on paper. I'm hopeful that I think that she's turned the corner from who she used to be. I think it's evident in her letter that she wrote a court.
Yeah, I
a
liked
nice
it.
letter, and I think
Well,
it's worth referencing that.
Ethel, you haven't turned into a different person. You weren't a bad person to start with. Now you've grown up. It isn't like you were some terrible person and now you're not. You're the same person you always were, but you're more mature. And you always had your version on your side of the story, and I guess it depends on which side you're looking at it from.
Attention shifts to Miss Caldwell's past altercations and probation history. Old fights, restraining orders, and misunderstandings surface, but a lawyer emphasizes that years of good behavior have passed since. The judge and probation offers to discuss which cases to focus on, showing the careful balancing act of weighing her history against her potential for rehabilitation, keeping viewers on edge about the outcome.
So we're going to do the probation in this case. It's going to be a 12-month probation, and you are going to do the anger management class. And you're not going to use any drugs or alcohol, which is going to be hard. You're going to end up saving money. Did you lose your driver's license because of the business with the breath tests?
I lost it because he said I refused to blow.
Yes. Well, this would have let you had a suspended license. Your friend is here and he's been taking you to work and then you get a ride home. What shift are you on?
Second.
Are you working weekends and that sort of thing?
Yes, sir.
And overtime?
Yes, sir.
Good for you. You got bills to pay. Overtime's nice when it got to pay the bills. Not so nice when you'd like to have a Saturday off, I suppose. But second shift on Saturday is rough. All right, and this one, $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, probation oversight fee of $480. You need to pay for the class. I think I have $1,000.
Was it a surety bond or was it?
Yeah, so I think we have $100, Your Honor, and then,
Oh.
yeah.
They mark it in yellow, so I'll see that I notice it. On posted. Yeah, it was $1,000, 10%. Applied return balance 0. We gave you your money back. You got some stability going on. You got a job, you got an apartment, you got friends. I don't want to screw that up, but you're going to get a timeout. She had been a good probationer in the past. I think that adds up to, that can't be right. Let me add it again. 75, 50, 75, 150. It's 350 plus 480. It could be done in less than that. That's 830. And you to pay for the anger management class. I'm going to follow Mr. Bush's recommendation. I'm going to alter it a little bit. I'm going to order 10 days jail credit 1. And of the 10 days, 9 are deferred. I'm going to hang some jail over your head. See if you do what's asked of you, but not impose any additional jail.
The courtroom holds its collective breath as sentencing details unfold. Probation, anger management, and strict conditions are laid out alongside fines and jail credits. Every clause carries weight, and the tension is palpable as the judge enforces accountability, while leaving room for redemption. Viewers are drawn in as the consequences of past actions are made real moment by moment.
Your Honor, can you point me in the right direction to get my license back?
Well, I wish I could. Your problem is not with the court, it's with the driver license appeal division.
They gave me a letter in the mail. Well, I received a letter that was dated for the 3rd, but I didn't receive it until the 8th. And I faxed over the request for the hearing on the
Okay,
9th.
so you've asked for a hearing already?
Yeah, and then she said, because I didn't comply within 14 days, I was there, I complied before the 14 days. But she said I could write a letter or bring it to the courts.
Well, will you look into that?
Yeah, certainly.
My preference would be that you had a restricted driver's license. That's what an impaired does.
I'm okay with that, as long as I can get to these classes and to work.
But the stuff the Secretary of State does is outside of my authority. And I tell everybody, take the test.
I did, Your Honor, because I was in here when my brother was in here. That was the time you saw me before I had to come for me. So there was no way I was refusing that.
Well, again, I wasn't there. They wrote it, so that you have a right to appeal it and say, hey, I wasn't. But they weren't getting sufficient samples. All right. Marijuana is going to be an issue because you can't smoke weed while you're on this. And I think that's going to be the hardest part of this whole thing.
It's not an addiction.
All right, well, good. All right, I want you to go downstairs with Mr. Huff and he'll get you plugged into this. Like I said, she'd been a model probationer in the past for Alice. You think about Alice and Bob and Henry and those guys that used to be here in the past.
Where is that?
What?
Where is that?
She's in Oregon. They've all retired. Somehow I'm still here. All right, let me give you that, Matt. All right, Ms. Caldwell.
Thank you,
I
Your
hope
Honor.
this goes well.
Okay. All right.
All right, that completes our morning.
In the final moments, the focus shifts to practical next steps. Miss Caldwell learns about her restricted driver's license, the appeal process, and probation requirements, including staying clean from marijuana. The session concludes with guidance from her probation officer, cementing the resolution while highlighting lingering challenges.